Very cool, gang. Take a look at this. Spyder has a new 10-piece Electrician's Knockout Punch Kit designed to run with your impact driver that's already on your truck. It covers 6 common conduit sizes from 1/2 inch through 2 inches. Spyder says it can punch up to 16 gauge mild steel, up to 18 gauge stainless steel, and make those knockouts up to 25% faster than a bimetal hole saw. That sounds like one serious tool for electricians and HVAC technicians. It's also listed around $338, so it better be serious. Now, I haven't used this knockout kit yet, and I'm not going to call it a game changer before I put it through its paces. But later in the video, I'm going to give you an inside look and show you what Spyder's including in that case and explain a little bit more about how it works. First, though, I need to show you 5 other Spyder products most contractors and homeowners, DIYers, probably don't even know exist. These accessories turn standard reciprocating saws into a floor scraper, grout removal tool, power scrub brush, wire brush, and even a masonry saw. But now, I know it could sound a little gimmicky, but I've used all these 5 accessories extensively, and they do the jobs Spyder says they're designed to do. But before we get into that, if you want to help out the channel, why don't you consider heading on over to the VCG Construction merch store where you can get hats, hoodies, t-shirts. Link will be in the description below. Welcome back, everybody. If you don't know this already, my name is Vince, and it's nice to see you. Most people know Spyder for hole saws and saw blades. Deeper in the lineup, though, there are some very specific accessories that can make a miserable job easier without buying another dedicated tool. I bought every product in this video with my own monies. This video isn't sponsored by Spyder or Lowe's. You can check out the YouTube shopping button for the exact products, and the channel may earn a small commission if you buy these through those links at no additional cost to you. It helps us to make these videos. But the prices I mentioned in this video were at the time of making the video. So prices, availability can change, so use the YouTube shopping button for the current information. First up is the 3-piece Spyder Scraper Set. For $24.98, you get a 2-inch, a 4-inch, and 6-inch scraper that fits into a reciprocating saw just like a blade. The 2-inch scraper concentrates the force for precision work, popping tile, and getting under stubborn, thin-set and adhesive. The 4-inch scraper is the best general purpose size. Now, if I had to choose one from this set for the widest range of jobs, this would probably be it. The 6-inch scraper covers more area and works better on softer materials like rubber back carpet and padding. I've used these extensively and they're genuinely useful. The key is technique. Keep the saw at a shallow angle, use a controlled speed, and let the reciprocating action do the work. Don't lean your entire body onto the saw and expect this thing to become a rotary hammer. Spyder warns that these aren't concrete demolition tools and shouldn't be used in orbital mode. Use the correct size, use straight reciprocating action, and these can save a lot of manual scraping. At roughly $25 for all 3 sizes, it can pay for itself in one bad scraping job. Keep this set on the truck if you do remodeling, flooring, or demolition. You could also keep a heat gun on the truck if you do a lot of VCT tile, as well as these scraper blades. These will definitely add in the ease of making those tiles removable. Next up is the Spyder Grout-Out. This attachment costs $12.98. Instead of saw teeth, it uses vacuum brazed tungsten carbide grit to remove grout from joints 3/16 to 3/4 of an inch wide. Spyder says it can also remove urethane and epoxy and works up to 10 times faster than hand removal. Now, I won't tell you it's exactly 10 times faster on every project because grout, tile, joint width, and access will all change the result. I can tell you that it's much faster than dragging a manual grout saw through a large area. Measure the joint before using it. This isn't for grout lines narrower than the attachment. Then keep the tool parallel and controlled. A reciprocating saw has weight and vibration. Let it wander sideways and your grout removal job can quickly become a tile replacement job. It also creates dust, so use eye and respiratory protection and control that dust whenever possible. Put some water down. My verdict: useful for the right trade and the right project. Tile installers, remodelers, restoration contractors, and homeowners replacing damaged tile can get real value from a $13 attachment. Now, let's talk about one of the unconventional, unnoted ways of using this blade. It's not on the materials. This is what I really like these blades for, in addition to their intended purpose. If you're a remodeler and you're in older homes and you're encountering a lot of plaster, the Portland content in plaster makes it extremely hard, and it will dull a reciprocating saw or even oscillating multi-tool blade extremely fast, a conventional blade. But these blades don't have standard teeth. They have the grit. You mark out your lines and you make the cut. Now, you could also put some water on this. I generally don't. I'll usually run this tool with the blade and a vacuum behind it to capture that dust. That one tip will save you probably hundreds in oscillating multi-tool and reciprocating saw blades in the future. Bookmark that baby. You'll thank me later. Now we have the nylon brush, also priced at $12.98. Yes, it's a scrub brush that locks into a reciprocating saw, and it looks ridiculous until you actually use it on a longer outline, textured surface, rubber mat, or narrow channel. Spyder lists it for grout, carpet, tile, laminates, rubber, concrete, brick, and more. Its narrow shape works along edges and into corners where a large round brush or drill style brush won't work. The nylon brush is for cleaning, not stripping. It can loosen dirt and grime without the aggression of a steel wheel, but it isn't intended for heavy corrosion or hard coatings. Spyder says the bristles clean without scratching. I would still test any finished or delicate surface first in an area you're not going to see. Keep it parallel to the work, use straight reciprocating action, and don't use orbital mode. Very specific, but extremely useful when you have that job. It's inexpensive, easy to store, and it will eliminate a lot of repetitive brushwork, manual brushwork. Now, if you have a helper on the job and you're trying to get them to beef up in the shoulder area or the triceps, maybe you want them to do the manual brushwork. All you got to do to train him is tell him to use it manually, and if he earns it, you'll actually give him the one-handed recip saw to use it in later. Now, if the nylon brush is the polite version, this is the angry version. The Spyder steel wire brush is also $12.98. It's designed for metal, concrete, stone, and wood, and removes tougher contamination like flaking paint, rust, dirt, and small surface imperfections. Its biggest advantage is access. On a large flat surface, a grinder or drill mounted wire wheel may be faster, but inside a corner along an edge between boards or inside a narrow channel, this brush can reach places a round wheel struggles to touch. It works, but remember that wire brushes are consumables. Maximum speed and heavy pressure will wear the wire bristles faster, and loose steel wires can become sharp projectiles. Wear eye protection, inspect the brush, and check the area for shredded bristles afterwards. My verdict: keep it on the truck. If you work on equipment, metal, restoration, landscaping machinery, or maintenance, this is for you. At about $13, this may offer the best combination of price, usefulness, and versatility in the group. Now, let's talk about the product that needs the most explanation. Spyder's 12-inch, 2-tooth per inch, tungsten carbide tip masonry reciprocating saw blade. It's listed at $28.35, and it's designed for compatible concrete block, brick, mortar, masonry, stone, and timber. It can make square and flush cuts and reach places where rotary masonry blade saws are all be in a difficult position. I've used this blade extensively, and it works for its intended purpose. But the phrase masonry blade doesn't mean it will cut every hard material you put in front of it. Spyder tells users to check the hardness of the material. The company doesn't recommend this blade for materials at a Mohs hardness of 6 or higher, and warns that poured concrete, some harder brick, block, floor tile, porcelain may be outside its intended use. That distinction matters. Soft concrete block, cinder block, and extremely hard fired brick are not the same test. Use it in that right material and it can solve a difficult access problem. Attack extremely hard masonry or material containing metal and the result is going to be a lot different. My verdict: a very specific application, but absolutely useful when the material and access match the blade. It's not a universal concrete demolition blade. It's a specialty blade that requires the operator to understand what's being cut. Now, let's come back to Spyder's new Electrician Knockout Punch Kit. The case contains 6 conduit punch sizes: 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, 1 inch, and 1 1/4 inch, 1 1/2 inch, and 2 inches. Remember, those are conduit trade sizes, not the literal hole diameters. The actual punch diameters run from 22 millimeters through 60.8 millimeters. The kit also includes impact bearing draw stud, impact rated adapter, setting hardware, and molded carrying case. The system works with an impact driver. You create the required starting opening, position the punch and die on the opposite sides of the panel, fully thread and align the components, and use the impact driver to draw the punch through the material. Proper alignment matters. Everything needs to be fully threaded and secured tightened before you put the impact driver on it. Spyder rates this kit for up to 16 gauge mild steel and 18 gauge stainless steel. The company claims it can produce clean, accurate conduit knockouts up to 25% faster than bimetal hole saws. At the time we're making this video, availability is very limited. The price I found is around $380 through Spyder's distribution partners. This is a professional purchase. It's not an impulse buy accessory that you throw onto the cart because it looks interesting, but you can if you want. YouTube shopping buttons down below. The potential is easy to understand though. An electrician or HVAC technician may be able to make clean conduit openings with the impact driver already on the truck instead of relying on a hole saw for every opening or carrying a separate powered knockout system. I'll also say that for electricians, using this tool could potentially be safer than drilling with a hole saw on a live panel where you might need to make a new opening. Also, if you were working on a dead panel that was existing, it could save you if you were drilling that hole and you happen to go through with more force than you wanted to, and you nicked a whole bunch of wires that were in the way. But I haven't tested this total setup time on the starting the whole process, the finished edge, panel distortion, slug removal, or durability after repeated use. The final pull through the metal may look fast, but the complete process determines whether it actually saves time. You have to include creating that starting opening. You have to include assembling and aligning the punch and the die. You have to include removing the slug and taking the system back apart. And at nearly $340, it needs to deliver repeatable, professional quality results, not just one impressive demonstration. So my verdict today isn't buy it or skip it. My verdict is it's very interesting, clearly built for working professionals, but it's still unproven in my hands. Looking at all 6 products, the bigger story isn't Spyder has replaced every dedicated specialty tool. Spyder has found unusual ways to make tools you already own handle jobs they normally couldn't. Okay? The scraper set and steel brush are the easiest broad recommendations because they solve common problems at reasonable prices. The Grout-Out and Nylon brush are more job specific, but they can save real time when that job appears. The Masonry Blade's useful when you understand the materials and respect its limits. And the knockout kit may be the most important product here for professional electricians, but I'm not recommending an untested tool at nearly $348. Just is what it is. Every product will be featured in the YouTube shopping button down below if it's available. Use that button to see the exact model, current price, current availability. Now, I want to hear from all of you. Which of these products did you not know existed, and which one would make the biggest difference on your job? Let me know down in the comments. With that, I want to say I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Thanks a lot, everybody. I hope to see you all on the next one.